Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how you could draw a great white shark in pen and ink. Of course, I'm going to sketch it out in pencil a little bit so you can get some ideas. Well, I would say, well, again, most of my tutorials, again, are based on visualizing things in terms of simple forms. And the shark is no different. I think, it's good to think of this overall form, when you're drawing a shark or large fish or even whales, actually. So I always put the cross contour lines, and it's always good to sketch them in because it accentuates the volume of the form. Okay, and once you got this, this feeling down, I think that's pretty much a basic idea. And of course, the fin, I think of as a block like that, but of course it's rounded, so it's more something like this. But in terms of having the edge, these two sides showing is important because that's what gives it that sense of volume. Right? So now, I wouldn't necessarily make the line in like I did here. This is just to show you the basic form. Here, I would just actually use little hatch marks to kind of like show that edge instead of actually drawing it like I did here. Yeah, as I said, once you have this in, I think that's basically the main underlying mass of the entire body. And then, other areas like the fins can just be pictured, be visualized using this basic form here. Now, I'm going to draw it with the head, with the mouth like wide open. You can have the teeth showing and whatnot. And the gum will pretty much just be like a tube, like that. Yeah, so the gum will be more like a little cylindrical form, like that. And I use the shading so you can get a sense of how I'm visualizing it. All right, like that. In terms of how the head, the top will actually be open, so it's almost like you have that same form. It's almost like it's tapering, like this. Okay. And then, instead of it necessarily coming to a point here, I'll have it go up to a point up here. So it's more like that. All right, the eyes will be like right there. And then it's almost like you can have this being open, because with sharks, their mouth is something like this, the way it opens. All right, but this is from an underside view. I'm looking from below up. All right, but from a side view like this it will be somewhat like this, and then this form will come out something like that. See what I'm saying? That's the key thing for the lower jaw. You just want to have a form that's like this. Then from here, the rows of teeth can just be drawn in like that. All right, and that's the main thing. So it's almost like you have a flap attached to this form that shows where the lower jaws are attached. All right, so let's sketch it in with the pencil really quickly. So as you see, I've already outlined it in pencil. Now it's just a matter of going over in ink. Now, if you notice, again, just like I had mentioned before about how you see the line of balance in natural forms. See how you see it here in the tail? You see it here in the fin, and I'm not, I think some people believe I'm like, shoehorning, like I'm really like forcing this concept onto. But no, if you really look at natural forms, you'll see that if you really look at natural forms, you'll see how commonplace this line really is. It really can be found in so many forms. You know, there it is again, you know. Now, of course, it's not as, you know, exaggerated or as simple as you may think it will be. It's not going to be that obvious, otherwise everybody would see it. Maybe that's why it's not, you know, discussed or encouraged to be aware of as it should, as most people should, but it is very commonplace. So I'm just going to go in and use it, and you see that the line of balance is here again. Even with this just little form here, I used it here. It's really commonplace, and I'm not exaggerating anyway. Here it is again, right here. So I'm just going to go over this in ink, and then you're going to see how I will separate the up here, which is actually darker than the bottom. And the thing is, you don't have to make all of this dark. Okay, you can just imply it, and then, you know, the brain will take care of the rest. And right here, just like I did here, I'll just put this little hash marks to kind of like mark that edge. So it's implying that this fin, the dorsal fin, has thickness. Right? There's actually an edge there. Yep, and that's about it. So like I said, you know, once you get a sense of the overall form, you know, that's pretty much it. Notice I sketched in here the cross-sectional lines. It's just really important because it will help you in your sketching to get a sense of the overall mass. Okay, it's always good practice to do that, just like I did here. All right, so you can get this mass underneath. Okay, and that will, you know, help you a long way because it will keep your mind focused on where things are located. See that? It's basically, you know, what you're doing. The eye is on that, the tip of the nose is on that, and then this just comes out like that. That's basically it. All right.